Hi, this is Nova. I'm a filmmaker and I've been interested in building my own editing system in TouchDesigner. I'm still a beginner in TouchDesigner and much more familiar with Adobe Suite, but what's nice about building your own editing system in TouchDesigner is that instead of following a fixed timeline, you can design your own interaction logic. So in this tutorial, we'll build a system that keeps the pacing and rhythm of your film while allowing either the creator or the audience influence what footage appears next. And now delete everything and start from scratch. So the main operator we'll use today is the timer chop. And as you can see, timer gives us a few important channels. Timer fraction, ready, running, and done. And to make the timer work, you always need to initialize and start it, but you don't need to worry about it for now. And for this project, we also need to turn on segments. In the outputs tab, enable the segment channel. This lets the timer behave more like a timeline where each segment represents a cut in the film. So imagine you're putting multiple cuts in one sequence. What I'm trying to do here is to make your own sequence by editing cuts with the interaction. And next we create a table depth that defines our segments. So in the first row, we add column names, name, and the second one, length. And below that, we list each cut in the film. So this is gonna be your cuts. So I'm just gonna name them like movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, and movie 4. I also add one final row called constant, which we'll use as a black screen to clearly show when the piece has ended. And this table will later be read directly by the timer chop. So before connecting anything, it's important to prepare your footage. So all clips should use the same frame rate. It's nice if you can do that and have the same duration per cut. So that means you're using 4 cuts in this network. And we're going to use multiple footage for each cut. So you need to make sure you have same duration per cut. But it doesn't matter if you want to have different length for each cut. This prevents timing issues and keeps the system predictable, which is always good. And if you're used to Premiere, After Effects, or a media encoder, that's probably the easiest way to normalize footage. And if not, you can just search convert FPS or so and just choose free online frame rate converters. So now we bring in our footage using movie file and tops. For each movie file in, connect an info chop, and this gives us length and sample rate. And because both values are frame based, we can divide them using a math chop to get the duration in seconds. You should set these two as divide, and the final result means how long is your footage. If you divide length by sample rate, the result could be a floating point number, but that's just totally fine. And after that, we use a chop execute that to write the length value into the correct row of the segments table. So what we're doing here is reading the actual video length and automatically updates the table. Yeah, and when you're doing this, be careful with spelling and capitalization because TouchDesigner is case sensitive. For the final constant row, I manually enter a large value so we could see black screen when the piece ends. Yeah, now we return to the timer chop, and in the segments tab, you should set segments stat to our table. And segments method should remain as 0 timers. In the outputs tab, turn on segment. Then go back to the timer tab and press initialize and start. So as you can see, when the timer runs, each clip plays for its defined duration, and the segment value increases like this. And once it reaches the final row, the constant top displays black. So next, we're going to use a switch top, and all movie file in tops plus the constant top connect to the switch. The key idea is that the segment output from the timer is exported directly into the switch's index parameter. So this means segment 0 is movie 1, segment 1 is movie 2, segment 2 is movie 3. Yeah, sometimes those values begin with 0, not 1. So it might be confusing or there might be some error related to that. So anyways, this creates a fully automatic sequence in a way. So we're gonna add more footage to it and connect all of these to switch top. After switch, you should add null so that we can control these with switch top we made before. From here, it really differs from what kind of interaction logic you want to build. So I'm going to show you 3 examples, and I'll start with using noise chop. So noise generates random values that can drive the switch index. Time slice on. And I think this is too fast, right? I'm gonna make it really slow with math chop. And option N for no layer. I'd say it's around minus 0.5
Yes.
to maybe 0.5, right? Wait. I'm gonna change this to 2. Index parameter are. And as you can see, it changes too often. It almost looks like your screen is flickering. The way to change the pace of your noise is to adjust period value. And with this setup, the version of the film the audience experiences is never exactly the same. Technically, some of them are same, but you know what I mean, right? And this turns a linear edit into a procedural one. And we can also guide the edit using machine learning. It would be nice if I can go through this, but I just simply followed the tutorial from Torrent. So I'm just gonna put the links to those tutorials somewhere here or below the title. So check it out. I'm just gonna copy and paste this part from the project file I made. Yeah, in my case, showing a small tomato changes a value that's connected to the switch index. I'm just gonna add a math chop. I'm just gonna choose tomato round. So it's either 0 or 1. I only want to use a tomato channel. So I'm just gonna select tomato here, null layer next to it, and use this null layer value to switch index parameter. You can also use MediaPipe hand tracking for more direct injection. I just copy and pasted this part from MediaPipe tool file. And as you can see, it detects what kind of gesture you're making. MediaPipe outputs confidence values between 0 and 1. Because it's never fully certain, values rarely reach exactly 1. If the index number is smaller than 1, it doesn't really change your footage. So you need to change these with math chop. I'm just gonna use integer mode and select round, and this will turn gesture data into a clear on-off signal. You can repeat this process for multiple gestures, like thumb up, a thumb down, and map them to different edits. I'm just gonna use thumb up data to two of them and thumb down data to the others. So in case you wanna export the final video, you should connect the switch top to an out top and then use movie file out. I just wanted to mention that TouchDesigner doesn't automatically include audio from your video, so you'll need to add an audio file in chop and put this into here. And I recommend editing audio separately and importing a finished track and bring it into TouchDesigner by using audio file in chop. Yeah, and if you want to hear what your audio sounds like, you can add audio device out. It's gonna be loud and it's gonna be on a loop, so you can just turn this off if needed. So it was fun to make this system from scratch. The cool thing about this system is that it allows you to preserve the rhythm of the film while opening it up to interaction and variation. Yeah, so remember we are using null like an out top to show what your final footage is for each cut. So unless you touch that layer, you can add some tops to distort. So the main goal was to build a editing system so it could be configurable, and I'm pretty sure you could make something more fleshy, splendid, cool, beautiful, gorgeous, you know. Yeah. Thank you for watching and bye.